Okay, guys, how you doing today? I wanted to go back and look at a character real quick before I get into this LeBlanc stuff. Real quick, that is Nikki Cassio right there to your left. Alright, Nikki Cassio, which I've showed you already. And I'm going to look down here. I'm going to zoom back out. As you can see at the bottom, she has a friend that's on the Kelly's Facebook friends list. Okay, on her friends list, alright, on Facebook, named Mara Jane. You see me kind of scroll down past her name and some of the stuff I've been showing you, and as you can see, she has something there to say to Nikki. Alright, let's look at what she says. Hang on just 1 second. Alright. Alright, Jane says, God damn Nikki Cassio hot.com. Hot.com, hot resources information. Alright? Hot.com. Alright, think of hot day, like hot day macabre. Think of hot potatoes with Patricia Steer. Hot potato, hottie potato. Think of haughty, like I showed you in the scripture, the Bible, being lifted up, prideful. Okay, and God is also pronounced in the Hebrew, G-O-D or G-A-D, excuse me, is pronounced God. That is where God comes from, and it has to do with fortune and money. Okay, being upper class, being lifted up, fortune, money. Okay, God, the term God, when we have the God and God we trust on the back of our dollar bill, things like that, it is not referring to what we think of as the God of the scripture, who is actually the Most High Elohim Creator, Yahuwah, but it is actually referring to what that dollar bill represents, and that is money, the God of fortune, fortuna, money. Okay, hot, okay, upper class, hate, alright. That's what these Satanists know, alright, and they put all this stuff in our face through our culture, money, and even going back to our English words that are mistranslations a lot of times in the scripture, that gives us a false understanding of what it all means. Okay, false names, false titles, everything that everybody can pretty much latch on to and form their own belief systems, and that they can, that, you know, that is not exactly right, to form a one world way of thinking, belief system. Okay, to incorporate everybody. Originally it was to incorporate all the witches and Satanists and everything else. Okay, they could still practice witchcraft, still practice Satanism, still use these false names, and claim at the same time something called Christianity. Okay, so that is what's been going on for the last 2,000 years, instead of what the original intent was of those that are written about in the scriptures and what they wrote and what they taught. Okay, all that has been corrupted and changed, unfortunately. Okay, the characters and the stories are still right, but you've had titles, words, and things like that that have been changed, that has just made it into a story book, kind of like Greek mythology almost in some ways. Okay. So anyway, one of her friends, one of Nikki Cassie's friends, is Miss Steer. She says, "Gorgeous, Nikki." All right. all these people are friends, all right? All these people on Kelly's, of course, Patricia's moved a lot of her friends and connections and things like that. This was January 17, 2015, right before she became this big flat earther, okay? But all these witches, Satanist people are connected, all big buddies, all in New Orleans. Tim Steer, he remained down there running the Culture Vultures store, and Patricia moved on and became the big flat earth leader, okay? And who knows about her sister, really, but we'll look at that at some point, okay? There's a Natalie Cassio Skubic, alright? Cassio family, again, is a big-time family. They, created, they make watches, different instruments. We used to have a Casio keyboard, things like that, okay? A big-time family, all right? A lot of big-time families in this, all right? So, I want to show you Kelly Scardina's Instagram thing here, again, because I want to get into the LeBlanc family. Plug this in right here, my phone in. All right. Scroll out of this a little bit. Look at those first three pictures. To me, they say a lot. Now, he's added another picture to his Instagram page since CUMBISM's been here before. Somebody even brings up the subject. And I've profiled this individual in the past when I was talking about the West Memphis 3 alleged serial killers that Kelly Scardina and Johnny Depp and all these rock stars seem to love. Alright, Andy Warhol was in a lot of this stuff that we looked at before, but he's got a stamp up now of Mr. Warhol. He was a weird horror kind of arts guy, hung out with a lot of rock stars, rock bands, involved in a lot of the horror macabre genre. Okay, think of Hall like hollow, or I could say holy, or I could say Holly or Hollywood, or I could say hollowed. All right, think of All Saints Eve. All right. Saints is where you get the halos, okay? Think of halo, which goes back to sun god worship. Alright, and halo in that term comes from Hallel, also known as Satan, or his Latin name, Lucifer. Alright, and you get heliocentricity, and heliolatry, the original sun god name or cult name, from his name, Hallel. Also, All Saints Day is also called Halloween. Alright? Halloween, Hollywood, Holy, all these are corrupted names that have made into our vocabulary. Unfortunately, give us a ideal that there are actual men out there in the world that are walking around with halos on their head and they're saints, okay? Like, even when it comes to Bible characters like St. Paul and St. John and St. Bartholomew or St. Peter and all this kind of stuff. These were not holy men, guys. These were in this, well, depends on what you mean by they were righteous in the sense of they followed Yahushua and his teachings. And he himself was not what I wouldn't call holy in the sense, because I think holy is a corrupted word. I would say he is the perfection of righteousness, and anyone that is in him and follows his Yahushua's teachings is conformed to that righteousness in him, okay? And that's a deep teaching in itself, all right? But there's not men walking around with halos on their head, unfortunately, okay? Well, I shouldn't say unfortunately, because again, that connects you to the sun god cult worship, all right? So I know it's a little something different that but I just wanted to say that for a minute, okay? You got a couple of characters here. By the way, I'm feeling a little bit better today, if you can't tell. But one thing, I'm not at work. I took another day off. But Minnie Manu says, where have you been hiding, Kelly? I would say to them, from CUMBISM. A good question. Predator says, hello, old friend, hello. Like, hello. Halo. Woo, baby. Alright, moving right along. Look at our little old Gothic Catholic looking churches, okay? You got some cats, and you'll have some satanic stuff. You got the Damien Eccles from the serial killer Satanist West Memphis 3 group that he loves to read about. Him and Johnny Depp and a lot of other Satanists. You got your cult books again that he loves to read, okay? And it's like I said again, you know, he's got a lot of Catholic stuff too in here, alright? Kelly Scardina, okay, like Jaron Campanella, so Latin, Italian. Not that there's anything wrong with that, because, you know, there's a lot of Italian people that are truthers and what have you. But, you know, there's a lot of Italian people that are from the old country that are loyal to Rome, okay? And others as well. I'm not just picking on one specific group, okay? There are Jews that are loyal to Rome. There's Stanley Kubrick. His books, okay, that all made it into the collection, I would dare say, before Pat joined or became the top flat earth spokesperson, okay? Dante Inferno, I didn't show that the first time, but you know, I think that's the book about where the guy sells his soul to the devil, okay? There's a lot to be said for that, alright? There's an elephant kind of like Alabama. There was another elephant picture that I didn't show you yesterday that I'll go back and show you. I don't know if I'll do it on this video or another one, but I want to show you a couple of pictures that I missed. There was something else I wanted to show you about some of those drag shows where it said something, and it may not have been those videos. It was some videos I looked at where it was talking about Dungeons and Dragons, which is a satanic thing that a lot of kids got involved in years ago. Video games and what have you, cartoons and things that got people into witchcraft and Satanism, and it spells dragons D-R-A-G in capital letters, uns, okay, in small letters. So I thought that was interesting, that just like transsexual, Transylvania, all this kind of stuff, these words are right in your face. Drag, which dragons or dragon would refer to Satan, but you've got the drag queen thing, you know, drag-uns, that's what it's referring to, these drag queens, D-R-A-G in capital letters, uns, okay, these are drag-uns, alright, satanic, is, I think, the implication here, okay, ultimately, changing everything, okay, from the reality that it is, upside down, backwards. Alright, there's the fleur-de-lucy on this thing I didn't see before. I showed this one time before. But let's look at Nikki Cassio's Instagram thing. Again, Facebook friends with Facebook friends with with Kelly and with Pat. There's not much to see on her Instagram thing. This account is private for Satanists only, I guess. Alright. But the only thing she has on here is this Wikipedia article called Istri Cemetery Grave Houses. I'm going to click on that. I showed it one time before, but I've got to go back to it. Alright. the Istri Cemetery grave houses. And again, in the last video I was talking about a guy by the name of Tim LeBlanc who works for Warner Brothers. Okay, I showed the Griffith Observatory and all that last night, but he works for Warner Brothers Studios. A lot of interest in LeBlanc family members, okay, and some Blanc family members, okay. I remember seeing that name when I used to watch Bugs Bunny, okay, and I just remember seeing it. All right, it was a name that kind of come back to me when I started looking at this stuff. Okay, the Istri grave houses are 3 historic grave houses located in Istri Cemetery in Morris, Louisiana. I'm thinking of Morse code when I hear that. Alright, the houses are the only 3 known surviving examples of tradition Acadiana grave houses. Remember that, Acadiana, because Acadiana, think about Diana, one of the Greek goddesses. Alright, and we'll see that word as we move forward. Alright. And we'll scroll down just a little bit. Istri Cemetery grave houses. Look at this. Now remember, I was looking at Tim LeBlanc when I cut it off last night, so I was going to get to the LeBlanc family material. This is the LeBlanc, and his name was Tim LeBlanc from Warner Brothers, alright? The LeBlanc grave house before the family began restoration efforts, okay? The LeBlanc grave house before the family began restoration efforts. Okay. Let's scroll down. Look here. These grave houses were built by, we'll get into these families, LeBlanc, Henry, and Istri families, okay? Alright, LeBlanc, Istri, Henry, and Istri families. Why is this so important? Alright? No one knows why the Cajun Catholic settlers in the Acadiana, there we go again, Prairie region of South Louisiana began building grave houses. I mean, that is just a weird statement in itself. Nobody knows why. But notice I said the Cajun Catholic settlers in the Acadiana Prairie, alright? Local filmmakers Zach, Donnie, and Jeremy C. Brewster, interesting names. I'm going to show you something about the Brizard family as we move forward, released their historical documentary Little Houses in 2009. The film documents the mystery of the houses, their historical significance, and the filmmakers' efforts have them listed on the National Register of Historic Places, okay? Let's move on. Since the film's release, a 4th house has been built by Leonard Smith, a local resident and caretaker of the cemetery. Alright, so let's think about the LeBlanc family, the Brizard family, and the Istri and Henry families. But I'm going to look at some interesting LeBlanc family and some characters and their connections and all that, okay? Okay, guys. Let's look at this. The history, back it up a little bit. History of the name LeBlanc goes back the medieval period to that region of France known as Normandy. This name was given to a person who was Blanc or an English white. It was no doubt originally given to someone either because of their blonde hair, because of reputation for purity and piety. Now, I found that to be interesting because there is another individual who is called Mel Blanc, and he actually changed his original name was spelled blank, like B-L-A-N-K, and he changed his name to Blanc and even his kid's name after that, and he became like the voice of Warner Brothers, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, all those characters, okay, for years and years and years, plus a lot of other cartoons and stuff. I think he worked for, did Woody Woodpecker, maybe some Disney characters, and they're all connected to another interesting group. But anyway, he, think of blank like a blank piece of paper, okay, a white blank piece of paper, something like that. All right, so let's move forward. I'm just going to put in LeBlanc here. Scroll down to this interesting video game characters. Let's go LeBlanc Alright, right here. LeBlanc is a commune in the Indre department of France. LeBlanc, again, French for the white. LeBlanc or LeBlanc may also refer to, and let's look, let's scroll down. Alright, let's go to people. Alright, we've got LeBlanc's surname, we've got characters of Final Fantasy X and Rex next to Champion League of Legends. Alright, let's look at the surname. Alright, some interesting characters. A lot of interesting characters. You got LeBlanc. And also, I'll show you Blanc could be a part of that as well, okay? Alfred LeBlanc, a French aviator. Anton LeBlanc, American murderer. Bart LeBlanc, Dutch economist. Claude LeBlanc, French royal official. Etienne LeBlanc, Canadian merchant politician. Herbert LeBlanc, French violin player. Think about the French Quarter and everything that goes along with it, okay? John and those cemeteries right there, okay? Nicky Cassio, friends with Pat Steer, Kelly Scardina, Tim Steer, and them are all friends, okay? French Quarter, alright? Which we'll get into the Roman Catholic thing here in a minute, alright? John Bernard Abbey LeBlanc, French art critic, and why again is she profiling this Wikipedia article? Why does she have this profile? What significance does this have? Okay, Cassio family. They're always profiling something that's very strange, weird, that has some kind of hidden meaning. Okay, all right. John Bernard Abbey LeBlanc, French art critic. Louis Caesar de Baume LeBlanc, French nobleman. Marie Angelique Mimi LeBlanc, French feral child. Morland LeBlanc, Saint Martin cricketer. Ovid LeBlanc, Canadian notary and politician. Stanley LeBlanc Smith, English rower. Adrian Nicole LeBlanc, American journalist. Alfred LeBlanc, another French aviator. Andre LeBlanc, Haitian comic artist. Look here, Andre LeBlanc, fictional jeweler thief in DC Comics. Okay, a character created that's connected to Warner Brothers as well. Okay, Christian LeBlanc, born 1958, American actor. Clarence White, born Clarence Joseph LeBlanc, 1944 through 1973, American bluegrass and country guitarist and singer. Diana Fowler LeBlanc, born 1940, Canadian politician. Drew LeBlanc, American ice hockey player. Daley LeBlanc, Louisiana state senator and developer of Hatico, okay, a big time player in Louisiana. All right. Dylan LeBlanc, American singer. Fred S. LeBlanc, Louisiana Attorney General and Mayor of Baton Rouge. Guy LeBlanc, Canadian keyboardist, member of rock bands Nathan, Moll, and Camel. Isidore LeBlanc, Acadian, there's that word Acadian, or Acadiana, politician, ship owner, and merchant. Jerry Luke LeBlanc, American politician and educational administrator. Karina LeBlanc, Canadian soccer goalkeeper. Lisa LeBlanc, Canadian politician. Matt LeBlanc, American actor known for playing Joey Tribbiani in the sitcom Friends. Let's click on him. You'll all know him. All love him. Matthew Stephen LeBlanc is an American actor, comedian, television host, and producer, best known for his role as the dim-witted, womanizing, but ultimately lovable actor Joey Tribbiani on the popular NBC sitcom Friends, which ran from 1994 to 2004, okay? LeBlanc also stars a fictional version of himself in the BBC Showtime comedy series episodes, alright? He won a Golden Globe. Alright, let's go on down. There's Matt LeBlanc. That's Matt LeBlanc, okay? Which the LeBlanc family, again, is part of Nikki Cassio's Instagram thing that she profiles concerning these grave houses, the Istry Cemetery grave houses that the LeBlanc family, the Istry family, Henry family have bought, okay? Have residence in, alright? Have owned, excuse me. Alright? That's her Wikipedia article, alright? Her weird Wikipedia article, okay, where they did a movie about it, alright? About a cemetery, a freaking cemetery, okay? I mean, probably Tim sleeps there at night, okay? Alright. Maurice LeBlanc, that's an inside joke, by the way. Maurice LeBlanc, French engineer and industrialist, alright? Maurice LeBlanc, French novelist, alright? Jean-Marie LeBlanc, French cyclist and director of the Tour de France. Neil LeBlanc, Canadian politician. Nicolas LeBlanc, French chemist and surgeon. Paul LeBlanc, makeup artist who won an Oscar for Amadeus. Paul LeBlanc, college president, current president of Southern New Hampshire University. Paul LeBlanc, American historian. I'm going to show you this individual. Rita Benson LeBlanc, vice chairman of the board of the New Orleans Saints of the National Football League.